Hello everyone, Jolene here from Bookworm Adventure Girl. I hope that you are all well. Welcome back, and if you are new, thanks for checking out my channel. Please hit subscribe and stick around. As promised, I am going into end of the year mode, and today I am going to do two things. First, I'm going to share the final top 10 list of 2021. So every 4 months I share the top 10 books from the books that I've read in that period. So this top 10 list will cover the books that I read in September, October, November, and December. The second thing is the giveaway. I am giving away 2 poetry collections. Pitchblende by Elise Marcella Godfrey. Oh, it's this one. And Red Obsidian by Stephen Tor. So thank you to everyone who entered the giveaway for these 2 collections. These collections are from ZG Stories and the University of Regina Press. So stay tuned to the end to see who wins, and if you are entered, then best of luck to all of you. First things first, let's get to the books. So from September to the end of December, I read 78 books, and I have tried my best to choose my favorite 10. Now I couldn't remember if I had put them in any kind of order when I did the other lists this year. I have a feeling that I did, but regardless, I am not going to do a countdown because in just 2 days I will be giving a top 10 of the entire year, and it's very possible that some of these will make it onto that list. So these are going to be in the order that I read them and not in the order that I would rate them. So I'm also not going to go into any great depth on these books since I already talked about all of them when I did my monthly wrap-ups. But if you are interested, I will leave links to those videos in the description box below so you can check that out. So first up is Beach Read by Emily Henry. I did try to read more romance this year, and Beach Read would definitely be among my top contemporary romances that I've read. I think I said at the time that it was, one of those instances where I read the right book at the right time. Next up is a novel that was shortlisted for the Giller Prize, and that is Fight Night by Miriam Toews. And this book was so well written. I loved that it was told from a young narrator, and the story is about 3 generations of women, which you probably already know that I love that. I read a lot of good memoirs this year. In fact, a few could have made this list, but the one that did was Not My Father's Son by Alan Cumming. First, I love Alan Cumming, and the more that I learn about him, the more I really like him. And I thought the way that this story was told was fantastic. It's about Alan's relationship with his father, which was not the easiest relationship. But he tells the story with a lot of honesty and humor, and I just thought that it was, so well done. Next is A Woman Is No Man by Etaf Rum, and this is another book about 3 generations. Dea is a teenager living in Brooklyn with her grandparents. Isra, I think it is Dea's mother, who left Palestine to marry a man in the US. And this was just a heart-wrenching story about women's expected roles. It's such a great read. Another really great read is Migrations by Charlotte McConaghy. I believe one of my comments was that this had like a Where'd You Go Bernadette vibe to it. And this story in many ways is quite tragic, but I loved how it was told, and I loved the themes of the environment. It takes place in Ireland and Canada, Greenland. I'm probably missing some places. It also has themes of family, identity, and belonging. The next book has some of those similar themes as well. How the Penguins Saved Veronica by Hazel Pryor. I adored the main character in this novel. Veronica's in her 80s, and she wants to leave her money to help save these penguins that she saw in a documentary. And this is another heart-wrenching but also heartwarming story. It is about loss and grief, but it's also a story of hope and love. Another favorite, I know I'm saying that about all of these, but it's kind of the point. They really are great books, and that's why they're on the list. The Strangers by Katherena Vermette. Another story about 3 generations. This is about a Métis family, the Strangers. The mother and her daughters are estranged because one daughter is in the foster care system. The other daughter is incarcerated, and the mother struggles with addiction. And then the grandmother, her story is also told, and it's a story of intergenerational trauma and how these women long to stay connected, even when it seems like everything is against them. Oh, this next novel is another beauty, and I don't have a copy of it with me. Ordinary Grace by William Kent Krueger. This is a coming-of-age story, and the narrator is Frank Dunn, who is reflecting back on the summer of 1961. And the story is about Frank's family and the small town that they live in. It's a beautiful story about relationships. Okay, 2 more to go. These books I just finished in the last couple of days, and they managed to make it onto the top 10. So the first is The Testaments by Margaret Atwood. This is the sequel to The Handmaid's Tale, and I loved how this story was told. It alternates between 3 women telling their stories. One of them is Aunt Lydia, who you know from The Handmaid's Tale if you've read that, or if you've seen the series. If you watch that, you definitely know who Aunt Lydia is. And I love how Atwood told the story of the fall of Gilead through these women's eyes, and managed to have a few surprising twists along the way. And then the last book that made the final top 10 list is Notes on Grief by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. You cannot beat Adichie's writing, especially her nonfiction. And I think that this book is something so many people can relate to, since death and grieving at the best of times is extremely difficult. But during the pandemic, it has had that extra layer of being even more difficult and burdensome when people can't come together and be supported in the way that they need to. So I think that this little book has a lot to offer. So those are the last top 10 books of 2021. I will leave links to the other 2 videos where I did top 10 lists, and those videos along with this one are basically, my favorite 30 books of the year. And then on January 1st, I will be counting down my top 10 books of 2021. That first spot is always tricky, especially when there are so many amazing books to choose from. We'll see how it goes. So now let's move on to the giveaway. Of all the people who asked to be entered, no one specified which collection they would prefer. So I just put everyone's name onto the wheel, and the first spin will be for Red Obsidian. So I have my wheel of names ready here, so let's give it a spin. And congratulations to David Wiley. Congratulations, David. That's fantastic. And now the second spin is for Pitchblende. Do another spin here. Here we go. And congratulations to Cristal from Reading in Retail. Oh, that's fantastic. Congratulations to both David and Cristal. Please send me your address via email, which you can find in the description box below, and I will make sure that I get those out to you in the next couple of days, maybe after the new year. Thanks again to everyone who entered the giveaway, and to ZG Stories and the University of Regina Press for providing the books. Please let me know if you have read any of these 10 books. What are some of your favorite books from the last few months? Is there a book or an author that you think I need to check out that I haven't talked about before? I look forward to chatting with you in the comments. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and don't forget to make every day an adventure.